Have you ever felt like you're being torn apart inside, even when everything on the outside looks perfect? Maybe you've built a life that others envy, a steady job, a loving family, or a home filled with laughter, yet deep down, there's a restless pull. You might hear one voice pushing you to keep going, to work harder, to prove yourself, while another quietly urges, take a break, you're enough. Or perhaps you're caught between the safety of routine and a dream you've tucked away, leaving you exhausted despite your achievements. This inner conflict can feel like a storm you can't escape, a battle that drains you even when the world sees your success. Why does this happen? Why do we carry this weight when everything seems to be in place? It's a question that can linger, making you wonder if this tension is just part of life, something you're meant to endure. But what if there's another way? What would happen if you no longer had to choose sides in your internal conflict? Imagine a life where the part of you that craves stability and the part that longs for freedom don't have to fight. What if instead of picking one and letting the other fade, you could find a way to bring them together? This is where Carl Jung, a master of the human psyche, offers a powerful solution with his concept of the transcendent function. He saw it as a bridge, a dynamic process that helps your mind rise above the chaos, uniting the conscious and unconscious parts of yourself into a harmonious whole. This isn't about silencing one voice or forcing a half-hearted compromise. It's about discovering a third path that transforms your struggle into growth. Jung believed this bridge could heal the divide, guiding you to a place where you don't have to choose between duty and desire, fear and hope, or past and future. Today, we're diving into this idea to explore how it works and how you can use it in your own life. By the end of this video, you will have a tool to break free from your inner conflict. Whether you're wrestling with work-life balance, a fractured sense of self, or the echoes of old choices, this could be your way forward. So stay with me. Let's embark on this journey together and uncover the peace that's waiting within you. Now that you've felt the pull of that inner conflict, let's break down how the transcendent function can help you rise above it. Carl Jung saw this as a natural process in your mind, a way to turn tension into transformation. It starts with two forces inside you, your ego and your unconscious. The ego is the part you know well. It's your conscious self, the voice that plans your day, defends your choices, and keeps you grounded. It might tell you to stick with a safe job or avoid risks. Then there's the unconscious, the hidden side filled with dreams, instincts, and desires you might not even recognize. It could be nudging you toward a passion or a change you've ignored. These two often clash, creating a tension that feels like a tug of war. That tension isn't something to fear, it's the fuel for growth. When you hold this conflict without forcing a winner, something powerful emerges, a symbol. This isn't just any image, it's a bridge between your ego and unconscious. It might come as a dream, a feeling, or a sudden insight, like a bridge, a tree, or a light. This symbol opens the door to the emergence of a third thing, a new perspective that doesn't pick sides, but unites them. This is where transcendence happens. You rise above the fight, finding a harmony that feels whole. Jung saw this as your mind's way of healing itself, turning opposites into a unified self. Let's make this vivid with an example you can picture. Imagine you're standing at a crossroads with two roads. One path leads to a steady, predictable life, maybe a career that pays the bills but leaves you unfulfilled. The other road calls you to a creative dream, like painting or traveling, but it feels risky and uncertain. Your ego wants the safe road, while your unconscious pulls toward the adventurous one. Instead of choosing one and abandoning the other, what if you built a bridge between them? This bridge isn't about compromise. It's a new path where you can work a stable job part-time and paint on weekends, blending stability with passion. That bridge is the transcendent function at work. Jung put it beautifully, paraphrasing his words, when you hold the opposites in your psyche and allow a third thing to arise, you create a unity that transcends the conflict.
This process is like alchemy for your soul, turning tension into gold. To see this, picture a diagram. Draw two overlapping circles, one labeled ego in dark gray and the other unconscious in deep blue, with jagged edges where they meet showing the clash. In the center, sketch a glowing mandala or a bridge radiating golden light. This is the transcendent function. The tension fuels the journey, and the symbol guides you to that third place. You don't have to pick a side. You learn to see the whole. This is how your mind can find peace, turning inner battles into a path toward spiritual growth. Stay with me as we explore how this works in real life.
Now that you understand the theory behind the transcendent function, let's bring it to life with stories that show how this bridge works in real people's lives. These examples will inspire you and offer practical ways to apply this concept to your own inner conflicts. Let's dive in. Story 1. The Wounded Bird. Meet Anna, a 36-year-old mother of two living in a quiet suburb. She loved her role as a mom, cherishing the laughter of her children and the warmth of family dinners. But a dream of writing a novel gnawed at her. Her ego insisted she prioritize motherhood, cooking meals and helping with homework, while her unconscious yearned for the solitude and creativity of writing. This tug-of-war left her feeling guilty whenever she stole moments to jot down ideas, as if she were betraying her family. One crisp afternoon, while walking with her kids, she noticed a wounded bird on the path. Its wings were ragged, feathers missing, yet it flapped with determination and lifted off briefly before resting. That sight hit her like a revelation. The bird became her symbolic image, a fragile yet resilient part of herself, balancing care and creation. Inspired, she began writing short stories during nap times, weaving her motherhood into her tales. The wounded bird served as her bridge, helping her reconcile her roles and transcend the conflict into a harmonious third way where she thrived as both mom and writer. Story 2. The Dream of Light. Next, consider Mark, a 45-year-old man from a bustling city grappling with a past addiction to alcohol. His ego enforced a strict routine of sobriety, filling his days with work and self-discipline, but his unconscious carried the weight of shame and a deep spiritual longing he couldn't name. The struggle exhausted him, leaving him caught between control and a yearning for peace. One night, he dreamed of a dark, damp cave, its walls closing in. Suddenly, a single beam of light pierced through, illuminating a winding path ahead. The light felt alive, warm, and inviting, pulling him forward. Jung would call this a symbolic dream, a manifestation of the transcendent function. Mark began meditating on that light, seeing it as his transcendent self, neither the addict nor the enforcer, but a healed whole. He joined a support group, blending his discipline with spiritual practices like prayer and reflection. The dream awakened his transcendent self, guiding him to a place of healing where past and aspiration united, offering peace. Story 3. Your personal invitation. Have you ever felt like you don't belong anywhere? Maybe you've stood at the edge of two worlds, your job demanding one version of you, while your heart pulls toward another. Perhaps it's the pressure to be strong clashing with your need to be vulnerable, or the past you've outgrown fighting the future you envision. That sense of not fitting in, of being split down the middle, is the duality Jung spoke of. The transcendent function is your invitation to step out of this either-or struggle. Think back to a time you felt torn, maybe choosing between a secure path and a risky dream. Now picture a symbol emerging from that moment. It could be a river flowing between two banks, a bridge in a fleeting dream, or a tree with roots in your past and branches reaching forward. These images are your spirit of the third, offering a new meaning beyond the fight. Jung believed this process is sparked by emotions like awe, curiosity, or a sudden calm. When you feel them, you're on the cusp of transcendence,
ready to build your own bridge toward spiritual growth. Analyzing the spirit of the third. Let's unpack what Jung meant by the spirit of the third. These symbolic images, like Anna's wounded bird, Mark's beam of light, or your personal river, are more than fleeting thoughts. They carry the energy of reconciliation, bridging the conscious and unconscious. Jung saw them as alive, pulsing with meaning that emerges from tension. The wounded bird, with its frailty and flight, embodied Anna's struggle and strength, uniting her roles. The light in Mark's cave peers through shame, merging control with spirituality. Your symbol, whatever it is, holds a similar power, reflecting your unique path to unity. Emotions tied to these symbols, like hope or relief, signal the transcendent function at work. They're not random. They're your mind's way of guiding you to a higher self, a place where internal conflict transforms into self-unity. As you reflect on these stories, consider what symbol might be whispering to you right now.
You've seen how the transcendent function works through theory and stories, but now it's time to make it your own. This part is all about giving you practical steps to apply this powerful concept to your life. Let's walk through how you can start building that bridge within yourself, turning inner conflict into a path towards spiritual growth and self-unity. How to identify inner tension? The first step is recognizing the tension inside you. It's that feeling of being pulled in two directions. Maybe you're torn between work demands and personal time, or between pleasing others and honoring your own needs. Pay attention to moments when you feel restless, irritable, or stuck. Does your mind race with, should I do this or that? Or do you notice a knot in your stomach when facing a decision? These are signs of conflict between your ego, the conscious part that wants control, and your unconscious, the deeper self nudging for change. Take a moment each day to check in. Ask yourself, where am I feeling split? Naming that tension is the starting point for transformation. Journaling and dream listening as tools of exploration. Once you've spotted the tension, grab a journal. It's your first tool for exploration. Set aside 5 minutes daily to write freely. Jot down your thoughts, frustrations, or dreams. Look for patterns. Where do you feel the pull most strongly? Maybe you write about wanting to rest but feeling guilty, or craving a hobby but fearing failure. This habit helps you see your inner landscape clearly. Dreams are another gateway. Before bed, set an intention. Show me a guide tonight. Keep a notebook nearby and note any images or feelings when you wake. A recurring symbol like a bridge, a light, or a tree might emerge from your unconscious, offering clues to your conflict. Don't worry if they seem vague at first, just write them down. Over time, these dreams can reveal the transcendent function at work, guiding you toward unity. Practice symbolic thinking. Next, let's practice symbolic thinking to deepen this process. Find the quiet space and imagine your conflict as two figures, one representing your ego, the other your unconscious. Let them speak. Maybe your ego says, stay safe, while your unconscious replies, take a risk. Don't judge them, just listen. Then invite a third image to appear, a bridge, a river, or a tree. Let it grow in your mind. What does it look like? Feel its energy. This exercise helps you see beyond the fight, finding a middle path. The symbol becomes your bridge, connecting the opposites into something new. Suggested tools: active imagination, shadow work, and visual meditation. To strengthen this practice, try these tools. Active imagination builds on symbolic thinking. After imagining your figures, dialogue with them. Ask your ego, what do you need? Or your unconscious, what are you trying to tell me? Write the answers. This deepens your connection to the transcendent function. Shadow work is another key. Explore the parts you hide, anger, fear, or shame. When a tough emotion surfaces, ask, what's beneath this? Journaling can uncover these shadows, integrating them into your whole self. Finally, use visual meditation. Sit comfortably,
Close your eyes and picture a symbol from your life, a tree with roots and branches, a flowing river. Let it expand in your mind. Notice its colors, shapes, and feelings. This meditation helps you embody the unity Jung described, turning tension into peace. Prompt: you don't have to choose between left and right. Learn to see the whole picture. Here's the heart of it. You don't have to choose between left and right. Whether it's stability versus freedom, duty versus passion, or past versus future, you can learn to see the whole picture. The Transcendent Function invites you to rise above the either-or struggle, using symbols as your guide. Start small. Journal for 5 minutes today. Note a dream tonight, or meditate on a symbol tomorrow. These steps, rooted in Carl Jung's wisdom, can transform your inner world, leading you to self-unity and spiritual growth. Stay with me as we wrap this up with a call to action.
As we wrap up this journey, let's bring it all together in a way that sticks with you. The Transcendent Function has shown you a path to rise above your inner conflicts, and now it's time to reflect on what that means for your life. Here's a simple summary in 3 lines. Conflict is the door, opening you to growth. The symbol is the map, guiding you through the tension. You are the journey, stepping into a unified self. Carl Jung's wisdom teaches that these struggles aren't roadblocks, they're invitations to a higher version of you, where spiritual growth and self-unity become possible. Take a moment to think about that. When was the last time you had a dream? Maybe that's the message you need. Was it a bridge over a stormy sea, a light breaking through darkness, or a tree standing tall with roots and branches? That image might hold the key to your next step, a symbol from your unconscious ready to bridge your inner divide. Reflect on a tension you're facing right now, between work and rest, love and independence, or past and future. What symbol could guide you? A river? A path? Let that thought linger as you move forward. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Comment below with your thoughts. How did this resonate with you? Share your recent dreams if you feel comfortable. They might inspire others on this path. If this video sparked something in you, pass it along to a friend who's feeling torn. They might find their bridge too. Subscribe to the channel to join us on this exploration of the mind, and check out our next videos on shadow work or anima and animus to deepen your journey with Carl Jung. Hit the bell so you don't miss these insights. You're not alone on this road to transcendence. Let's walk it together, step by step, starting with the tools you've gained today.